Yesterday we had UFC Baku wrapping up, and I'm gonna go through every fight that happened on the card and give you my thoughts. So the early prelim headliner, Muhammad Usman gets the job done over Hamdi Abdulwahab. I picked him to win. In the first round, he wasn't looking all that great. Hamdi was doing a little better. Usman was just looking very uncomposed, spinning around with every leg kick, just flinching away from any shot. But in round 2, he was doing better, going with straight punches, was cracking Hamdi with 1-2s. And at the end of round 3, he really hurt Hamdi, and that's what got him the win eventually. So a good win for Muhammad Usman. Tagir Ulanbekov versus Azat Maxim. I'm pretty sure Azat came in on short notice, a few weeks. If I'm not correct, then but Tagir gets the job done. It was a pretty controversial fight. A lot of people think Azat won. 2 judges had this 30-27 Ulanbekov. Now, Tagir, he honestly could have won this 3-0, but it's a lot closer than what it would appear like on the scorecards. Very competitive fight. Tagir couldn't get any takedowns. Azat got about 3, and Azat just had very good takedown defense, really good balance. He was cracking Tagir at times, but it was more Tagir stinging him with straight shots. It was just a 1-2s that won this fight for him. I know in round 3 they were getting scrappy in the clinch, and yeah, that's just made the fight really competitive in the end, the clinching, and it was just a 1-2s of Tagir. That's what won him the fight. Now let's move on to Claudia Segula and Irina Alekseeva. I thought Alekseeva was gonna win, just based on looking at the two. But Claudia Segula comes out guns blazing, just cracks Irina over the top with overhand rights. That's the majority of how the fight went. Irina was landing some punches too, but Claudia was she got more leg kicks done, overhands as I mentioned. In the 3rd round, she dropped Alekseeva with, it was an overhand, she missed it, and then turned it into a back fist. And that's what she dropped her with, and she got a takedown at the end of round 3, and just domination from her. Daria Zeleznyakova got the win over Melissa Mullins. Again, I was wrong here. I picked Melissa Mullins. I thought she would get the fight to the ground and probably keep it there, get a decision win. And she did get the fight to the ground on multiple occasions, but Daria worked on getting her way back up. Landed a lot of good punches at range. She had a big reach advantage. I forgot what it was, but she was on the back foot too, just stinging Mullins up. And yeah, that was just the story of the fight. I was wrong again. Jun Young Park, he gets the job done over Ismail Nardiev, who in the 1st round was looking good, definitely faster, stinging Park at times, but Park's just too tough, and he keeps coming as the fight goes on. He's not slowing down. And what I want to talk about is round 2, how Nardiev was stinging Park a little, and Park dropped to a knee, but then Nardiev just illegally kneed him in the face while Park was grounded. So yeah, they took a break for a while. I thought they were going to call the fight off, and Nardiev's celebrating like he won the fight, but I guess he didn't see Park was grounded. And then the ref, Lucas Bosaki, I'm pretty sure, took 2 points from Nardiev, which was the right call. Well done for him. I just thought the doctor would have made the call, not the fighter. Interesting there. But Park wins the fight, and round 3 just smothers Nardiev. Almost gets a rear naked choke. He had a few attempts at that, but Couldn't get the finish, but good performance from him. I believe it was a 29-25 or something. Were 2 scorecards. Okay. Sung Kyun Ko beats Oban Elliott. Man, I was wrong about this one. Oban Elliott has looked very solid in the UFC. You know, he has issues in all of his fights, but he gets the job done. So he's kind of proven himself and doesn't just get lucky in fights. But Sokyeon Ko he really impressed us. The judo was the story of the fight. Just outside trips on Oban Elliott, and he was good at holding him down too. Oban could not really get up to his feet for the most part. Couldn't get any separation, and just Sokyeon Ko, he was looking very open on the feet. I was thinking he was probably gonna get knocked out, but he just gets the judo going and dominant win. And now let's move on to the main card. Muhammad Naimov, he gets a decision win over Bogdangrad. Not much to talk about here. Single strikes landed in the rounds. I know Naimov, he landed a few wheel kicks on Grad. One in the first that really hurt Grad. Grad, he was working with the grappling. Eventually couldn't get enough of it going, and Naimov wins the fight. I think Rio via all the judges. Grad could have won the second. And now let's move on to the fight of the night, which was a really good fight. One of the only good fights on the card. Nazim Sadikov and Nicholas Moda. So this was a war. I mean, they both got 50k performance bonuses and a fight of the night bonus. Kind of speaks about the card. But first round, they're going back and forth, a little technical. Then Moda hurts him to the body, and Nazim goes down for a bit, very close to being finished. But he works his way back up. He's rolling with the punches. Eventually he separates, hits Moda a little bit, gets a little less wild at the end of the first round, and then second round's just a war. We're going back and forth, we're both cracking each other, and eventually Nazim gets Moda up against the cage and just starts unloading, and he was mixing up to the body, throwing hooks upstairs, and eventually knocks Moda out with those. So, very good performance from him, facing the adversity he faced. I'm sure the crowd support helped a lot, but respect to Moda as well, and he got some nice money out of this too. Alright, let's move on to Miktabek Oralbai and Tawfiq Musayev. I was going with Oralbai here. I was pretty confident in that. I was a little worried because I've seen Tawfiq land some really good shots on his opponents and they go down, but I said he doesn't really have a deep tool bag. It's just 1-2s and some teeps, some leg kicks, an occasional takedown, but who's taken down Oralbai? Not many people are. Oralbai, straight up, he gets a takedown. Like 20 seconds into the fight, he gets his first takedown. Wait, no, he didn't even get that takedown. Tawfiq had good balance, but then they separate. Tawfiq throws a body kick, and Oralbai catches it, takes him down, keeps him there for a long time, about 2 or 3 minutes, and then they get back up, and Tawfiq throws another body kick, gets caught, taken down, also punched on the way down by Oralbai, and about 30 seconds left in the first round, he gets a Kimura. So, very good performance from Oralbai, kind of a mismatch, but, you know, I don't understand, he just needs to start making weight. Came into this fight, it was a catch weight of 165. So he was allowed, if he needed to have 10 more pounds than he would have regularly had to make. or about 9 more pounds. But yeah, I hope he keeps making the weight, but he's a good prospect. He's a really good prospect. I'd say give him a really tough test before a ranked opponent or somebody who will get him ranked. That's what I'd say. What's next for the Baku World Buy? Now let's move on to the featured fight. Curtis Blades versus Rizvan Kuniev. Okay, let me say this. Curtis Blades won this fight. Pump the brakes on robbery. Watch the people who say robbery, they look at round 2 and to look at the damage that Kuniev had, or that Curtis Blades had inflicted by Kuniev, and then they just go into the 3rd round like, oh yeah, Rizvan did that damage in round 3 too. So he wins rounds 2 and 3, and Curtis Blades lost. Robbery. Curtis Blades won that 3rd round though. Got some control time against the cage. Not the strongest argument for him, I understand, but some knees to the thighs, some body punches, leg kicks. He I think he more than doubled Rizvan Kuniev in round 3 with significant strikes. Like, he landed some good punches, but the commentary was just glazing Rizvan Kuniev for missed punches. I know it was impressive to do that to a top 5 opponent, but if anything, this just speaks to how shallow the talent pool is in the heavyweight division. But anyway, a bit of a tough fight for Curtis Blades, but I heard he was injured, so I mean, that would make sense if he was injured. So, we'll see what's next for Curtis Blades. He called for Gane. We'll get into what's next for Gane because we had another major announcement after the event. But anyway, let's move on to the co-main. Rafael Fiziev gets the job done over Ignacio Bahamondes by decision, 30-27 across the board. And yeah, I had this for Yo Fiziev. Round 1, a little slow start. They're chucking body kicks at each other. Ignacio threw a lot of head kicks too, and a lot of spinning wheel kicks. We'll get to that. And we'll kind of put Fiziev in. What had him ahead in round 1 was he was going down to the body, cracking Ignacio at times, but it was just uppercuts, hooks to the body. He landed a few more of those, so that gives him a first. Round 2, it's kind of the same thing, but at the end of the 2nd round, Fiziev gets 2 takedowns, lets Ignacio back up. I don't know why he did that, but he wins that 2nd round. 3rd round, yeah, it was just Ignacio was chucking wheel kicks. Like every 30 seconds he was chucking a wheel kick, and they just had no hope of landing because Fiziev a lot shorter, and he was doing that matrix thing, that dodge that he was hitting against Mark Chikese. So yeah, just a good performance from Fiziev. Very good striker. And it was impressive that he was able to figure out Ignacio Bahamondes. I don't know about figure out, but he was able to deal with that type of frame, which is a hard thing to do. With a 7-inch height disadvantage, reach wasn't too bad. But anyway, main event. Khalil Ranchi Jr. versus Jamal Hill. Khalil wins. Very lackluster fight. Just not much action. The 1st round, Jamal landed some more leg kicks and punches, but it was Khalil who was getting some harder blows in. So I understand. You can honestly give that to Jamal Hill or Khalil. I wouldn't complain either way. Round 2, I think that was Khalil's round. He was actually starting to sting Jamal Hill with the leg kicks now and make him walk a little funny. Round 3, He drops Jamal Hill twice. There was about one legit knockdown scored this fight, but Khalil he drops Jamal Hill to his feet, or he sits him down in round 3 twice. One was a left-hand counter after Jamal finished his combination, and that just floors him. And there was also a counter right hook that he landed. I'm trying to remember. Round 4, also not much. Khalil lands one big punch, not quite dropping Jamal, but knocking him off balance a little. And round 5, just almost nothing happened, really. I just can't really remember what action we had in that 5th round. But Khalil was getting a lot more damage in with the leg kicks and a few knockdowns. Most of them not scored, but that was just the fight. I also forgot to say that I said Curtis Blades, it was pretty likely that he would get a TKO, but I thought it was going to be a very lackluster decision. So I'm happy I got that right. Didn't get the main event right. I got Fiziev right. I got Blades right. Oralby right. Sadikov right. Naimov right. Sokyanko wrong. Jun-Young Park right. Zalesnyakova wrong. Segula wrong. Tagir right. And Usman right. So I went 8-4 on the card. Not the greatest, but it's okay. Next week is Topuria Oliveira, and I'm doing well on those predictions. So see you then, and goodbye.